watching KGO TV, ABC 7.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome today's contestants, a poet and college professor from the Bronx, New York, Kazim Ali, a PhD student and mother of twins from Bloomington, Indiana, Allison Seiler, and our returning champion, an accountant from Elgin, Illinois, Sue Kim, whose one-day cash winnings total $17,700. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I can't recall when we last introduced a poet as a contestant on Jeopardy. Kazim, good to have you here, and Allison also, the newcomers. And welcome back to Sue, very good young champion. Here we go, Jeopardy round to get you guys off on the right foot. Easier round to play, of course. And today you're dealing with these categories. Check them out. 1967, followed by football, meticulous. You'll get a C in biology. Each correct response will begin with that letter. Official state seals is followed by divided by a common language. These are Britishisms, just so you know. Sue.
Common language for 200, please.
Arrows can be these things that you throw at a game board in a pub or the game itself. Sue.
What are darts?
Darts, yes.
Language for 400, please.
A pedestrian crossing marked with stripes is called this, like a stripy animal. Sue.
What is a zebra?
Yes.
Language for 600.
What the Brits call a jumper is a pullover one of these to an American. Sue.
What is a sweater?
Yeah.
Language 800.
Bangers, usually paired with mash, are these food items. Kazim.
What is bacon?
No. Allison.
What are sausages?
Sausages, bangers and mash.
Language for 1,000.
Fringe is a British coiffure term for these. Sue.
What are bangs?
Bangs, yes.
C in biology for 200.
It's the part of the skull that encloses the brain. Sue.
What is the cranium?
Correct.
Biology for 400.
This photosynthetic pigment absorbs red and blue violet light and reflects green light. Sue.
What is chlorophyll?
Correct.
C for 600.
Here's Sarah.
Honey, pollen, and fertilized eggs are some of the things that may be stored in a honeycomb's compartments, which are called these.
Allison.
What are cells?
Cells, that's it.
Biology for 800.
In anatomy, it's the outermost layer of an organ, like the renal one. Sue.
What is the cortex?
Cortex, yes.
C for 1,000.
This coiled part of the inner ear that's concerned with hearing contains the organ of Corti. Sue.
What is the cochlea?
Cochlea, correct.
Meticulous for 200, please.
A 1974 biography of this photographer is titled Mr. Lincoln's Cameraman. Allison.
Who is Matthew Brady?
He's the one.
Football for 200.
Scrimmage plays start with the snap from the player in this position. Sue.
What is the center?
Correct.
Meticulous 400, please.
Matthew Cooper, a reporter for this magazine, was almost jailed for refusing to reveal his source for Flamegate. Kazim.
What is life?
No. Allison.
What is the Boston Globe?
No. Sue.
What is time?
Time, yes.
Meticulous 600.
In 1951, General Matthew Ridgway replaced this man as UN Forces Commander-in-Chief in Korea. Kazim.
Who is,
Oh, you're drawing.
who is MacArthur?
Oh, yes, and you got it in just in the nick of time. Go again.
I'll take 1967 for 200.
John Lennon appeared on the cover of this publication's premiere issue, November 9th, 1967. Sue.
What is Rolling Stone?
Rolling Stone, yes, and that takes you to 5,400. Takes us to our first break. You're off to a very good start, as was the case yesterday. We'll be back in a moment.
Full-size problem, mid-size solution. Full-size problem, mid-size solution. Full-size problem, mid-size solution. Introducing the mid-size Nissan Frontier Crew Cab Long Bed. Holds 5 with an over 6-foot bed and the strongest standard engine in its class. Now save $2,500 with a value truck package and cash back. Nissan's family of Frontiers leaps and bounds above the rest.
Her bread always came from her oven. She spent all day on her pot roast, and the buttons on her gingerbread men had to be double chocolate chip. That's how grandmas showed their love. Marie Callender's does it with her chicken pot pie. A flaky crust filled with juicy white meat, tender vegetables, and absolutely no shortcuts. Marie Callender's. Marie's dinners are also filled with her special touches and real ingredients.
Hey, what's that?
A whole grain English muffin.
Is it a whole grain English muffin now?
Yeah.
How about now? Joel?
Thomas's Hearty Grains, made with whole grains for heartier nooks and healthier crannies.
Well, it's not a whole grain muffin anymore.
Really?
Now it's my breakfast.
Actually, it was Mom's.
Thomas's Hearty Grains English Muffins, heartier nooks, healthier crannies.
A premium home theater system tailored exclusively for you. Experience our Magnolia Home Theater store inside of select Best Buy locations.
Kazim Ali from the Bronx. Although we talked about you being a poet, you also taught for 4 years at a culinary institute.
I did. I taught the aspiring chefs and restaurant owners literature and how to write.
How to write?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with food, obviously.
Nothing to do with food, no. In fact, I taught them contemporary American literature.
But you're a big fan, I understand, of Agatha Christie and Harry Potter.
I am. I love the classics, and I do read the classics all the time, but I think that there are certain books that have amazing messages in them, and I think Agatha Christie, for example, tells, to read her tells you a lot about some of the social attitudes in England at the time she was writing.
Yeah, okay, good to have you here. Allison Seiler from Bloomington, Indiana, is going for her doctorate in something I have not heard about, cognitive neuroscience.
Yes.
Which means what?
It's linking how you know things like how you learn something with the actual biology of the brain.
Wait a minute. This is about the size of my brain, by the way, folks. This is about it. Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. No, it's a stress thing that my department gives away. And so you're welcome to have it. It's my lucky brain.
You're not the first person who thinks I should have a brain. All right. Sue Kim is our champion. Has a cat. We've been talking about cats for some reason on the program this week, and your cat's name is Calvin.
I have 2 cats.
Oh, Calvin.
Yes.
And Calvin has a sister named?
Hobbs.
Hobbs, of course.
Even though they are girls.
I was going to say, isn't Hobbs a guy's name?
Well, we thought they were boys, and then we thought they were girls, and I wanted matchy names, and we came up with Calvin and Hobbs, and when the vet said that they were girls, I decided that they were cats and it wouldn't affect their gender identity.
You know, it's not that hard to figure out with animals. You can often tell just by looking.
They were 5 weeks old when we brought them home. I mean, they were so little, it was hard to tell. Okay. I didn't have a good reference to...
I see. But Calvin, whenever Hobbs is in trouble or something, or locked in a room, Calvin will come and let you know?
If Hobbs gets locked in a room, as she's prone to doing, Calvin sits outside, and the minute you come out by her, she starts to meow, like very strongly, and then if you start to walk away just thinking she's meowing, she comes and chases after you and is like, meow, meow,
hey,
meow,
that's
meow.
Good. A watch cat. I love it. All right, you have command of the board, Sue, and the most money right now. Let's see if you can keep it going.
Meticulous for 800.
Answer. His memoir, A Negro Explorer at the North Pole, was published in 1912. Kazim.
Who is Matthew Shepard?
No. Sue or Allison? Who is Matthew Henson, not Shepard? Back to Sue.
Meticulous 1,000.
A successful brewer, Matthew Vassar, opened his namesake college for women in 1861 in this New York City. Sue.
Was Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie is right, yes.
Football for 400.
The 2 basic kinds of pass coverage are man-to-man and this, in which defensive players are assigned an area to cover.
Sue.
What is zone?
Yes.
Football 600.
This time is the number of seconds between the ball being kicked and caught on a kickoff or a punt. Sue.
What is air time?
No. Oh. Allison.
What is hang time?
Hang time, that's it.
Football for 8.
FinFever.com is a website for fans of this pro football team. Allison.
What is Philadelphia?
No. Sue or Kazim? What or who are the Miami Dolphins?
Oh.
Fin time. Allison, back to you.
Football for 1,000.
One of the two Dans who were analysts for ABC's Monday Night Football. They are Dan Fouts and Dan Deerdorf. Let's go somewhere else, Allison.
State seals for 200.
There are no deer or antelope playing on Kansas's state seal, but there is a herd of these. Allison.
Water buffalo.
Right.
Seals for 400.
Lord Baltimore is dressed as a knight on this state seal. Kazim.
What is Maryland?
Correct.
State seals for 600.
Emma Edwards is the only woman to design a state seal. Her seal of this state includes the Snake River. And that state is Idaho. Kazim, pick again.
State seals for 800.
Answer? Daily double. All right, Kazim, we have about a minute left. You're in the hole, 1,000, but you can risk 1,000. So if you risk 1,000 and respond correctly, you'll be out of the hole.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, here's the clue for you in official state seals. Many states include animals on their seals, but this is the only one depicting a real seal.
What is Alaska?
Hey, well done. You're out of the hole. No more red. Go again.
State seals for 1,000.
The 5 arms on the star on its seal represent the 5 civilized tribes. Sue.
Was New York?
No. Allison or Kazim? What is Oklahoma? 4 clues left in the first category, Kazim. Which one do you want to look at?
400.
In South Africa, Dr. Christian Barnard performed the world's first one of these surgeries. Sue.
Was a heart transplant?
Yes.
600.
In October, in a clash with army troops in Bolivia, this revolutionary leader was killed. Sue.
Who's Bolivar?
No.
Sorry.
Kazim.
Who's Che Guevara?
He's the one, yes.
1967 for 800.
George Papadopoulos became this country's prime minister after seizing control of the government. Allison.
What is Greece?
Right. Now the $1,000 clue will remain hidden from view. And let's see, we have Sue with an even 5,000, Allison with 2,000, and Kazim going first in Double Jeopardy. And during the break, I will keep exercising my brain. Back in a moment.
This week on Wheel, the excitement's reaching new heights.
You all right? I'm gonna die.
If worse happens, we do have standby players.
Okay.
So sit back, take a deep breath, and watch Wheel all this week.
Tonight at 7:30 here on ABC 7.
A real family meal starts with 9 freshly cooked drumsticks and thighs, just $6.99 at KFC. Add your favorite sides to complete the meal. And don't forget the wings for the big game. Bring back dinner at KFC.
San Francisco, get ready to go blonde. Legally Blonde, the world premiere musical comedy. Call Ticketmaster.
Mom, I think it's time I got my own cell phone.
Phones are expensive. Wouldn't you rather get a tattoo?
Dad, I think it's time I got my own cell phone.
I think it's time you got a job.
Dad, could I have my own cell phone?
Worried your kids will run up a huge wireless bill?
What? I can't hear you.
Now with T-Mobile, families get more minutes to share. 1,000 for just $49.99. T-Mobile, stick together.